Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Magic the Gathering Duels of the Poop Scoopers. We're scooping the poop. Magic's back! Ah!
What?
But just to clarify, we are not dragons.
The dragons
Yeah,
all have phlegm in their throats, apparently.
Yeah.
That sounds like turkey spires, if you ask me.
Turkeys.
Guys, I have a new computer.
Do you?
Yeah, what happened with that? So, like, you just went away for like 2 weeks and we never talked to you. What happened?
I think it's been more like a month.
It's been like a month, yeah.
I went to
yeah.
I went to Arabia and learned the secrets of
Oh, did
the
you talk
League
to
of
Lawrence?
Shadows.
Lawrence is
Yeah.
over there.
I'm a YouTuber by day now, and I'm going to be Batman by night.
When do you
That's
Twitch?
actually just Batman.
Yeah. And, well, I figure he's already an established figure in the world. Might as well just
I
stick with.
fucking forgot.
You're saying Batman's an established figure at this point.
He is, yeah. He's figured. He's established.
I don't know, man. They keep making new movies about him like he's just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Are you sure he's really established?
He's pretty established, yeah. He's got an establishment.
They burn it down like every other goddamn movie.
It's called the Bat Establishment. Did you guys hear?
Oh.
Did you guys hear about the Spider-Man news?
Yeah,
Dude.
they kind of gave it to Marvel, sort of.
What?
Yeah. All right. So essentially, Spider-Man is going to be in the third Avengers movie. He's going to appear in the third Avengers movie. Also, Andrew Garfield's no longer Spider-Man.
Yeah, wait, if third Avengers movie is gonna be Infinity Wars, right?
Wait, I thought the guy that drew Garfield died.
Yeah, no, he's dead. He's definitely dead.
Oh.
Definitely deadness. Evergreen.
There's like 5
Okay,
people
that
who
was
did
actually pretty good. That was a couple of crossovers in one.
Yeah, I try. I really try.
I appreciate
When you
it.
narrow it down to the point where there's this Venn diagram of people who will get the joke, and the center has like 2 people, you've succeeded. All right, that's a good
Well,
crossover.
when you get right down to it, snakes don't have parts.
That's true.
So-
Yeah, that's a wow. That's a callback.
I can't fucking handle that.
Oh man, I missed some magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, magic.
We've been here for 2 minutes. We already made like 7 references. That's
The
good
world sucks
RPM
without
right
magic,
there.
I have to say. I don't know about you guys, if like I don't know if you watch this show or you like this show, but it's honestly more for us than it is for you, I think.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
like,
we actually hate you all. Like,
yeah.
you all go suck a dick.
Yeah,
Just
basically
Just
that.
one. All of you, the same one.
Same one. Somebody's gonna have a
simple-
real good day.
I mean, you can
I've
take
actually
turns,
been-
but
When my
No.
computer was down, I was on my Kindle and I was playing a lot of Hearthstone.
more like
Yeah.
Hearthstone.
Heyo. I get that Goblins and Gnomes pack. That's
Can I
interesting.
interrupt for a second? I will
Yep.
make like one of my most made jokes is more like blank the thing you just said. And 99 times out of 100 it won't make sense and it'll be bad. That was the 1 out of 100 that actually was kind
Oh.
of funny.
I didn't even
Like-
hear it.
It was more like Barfstone because it sucks. But seriously, that I just want to point that I get like one every couple of months, so I needed that one. All right,
What's my thing?
I don't know.
Penises.
Rob Oh, that's my Rob does something that ends with pooper scoopers, and then Austin says not more like something, but I don't
Well, I've
think
got the Rob humor and the Rob segues.
The Rob
so-
segue's the big one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main. At
I'm
least
not-
that's the main thrust of my magic
I'm
experience.
not asking about what you thrust at. I'm
Thrust.
asking about what I thrust at.
I thrust at a lot of things, Nick. That's what the important thing to note here is. I'm a thruster. I'm a big thruster.
All right, it's good to qualify that you're a big thruster.
I'm a really big thruster. I just thrust up a storm,
Big,
man.
big loader, big loader works all day long. So I sing this big song. That's an old, like, Nickelodeon commercial that
Is it?
they used to sell big loader, and only Tommy could think of it.
Tommy the White Power Ranger?
No, didn't he stab? Oh no, that was the Red Power Ranger from Dino Force.
Yeah, he killed a guy.
He killed a guy with a sword.
Well, the Red Power
Allegedly.
Ranger, the Red Power Ranger in the original series went to gay porn.
Did he?
Yeah,
All right, so
yeah.
is there like a curse of the Red Ranger?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well, Tommy the White Ranger, he ended up going into MMA.
Yeah, but
So-
did he like blow a guy or do drugs or something? Like, what's the?
I mean, I'm sure he did a
See,
lot of drugs.
Tommy Lee like blew a guy, didn't he? Or that? No, he got blown on a video.
Yeah, probably by a dude.
No, it was by like Pamela Anderson, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
What about Tommy Lee Jones? Did he ever get blown on a video?
I'm sure he's been blown on many videos.
Tommy Lee Jingus, he did a lot of.
Was there any
Fuck
relation
off.
there?
Yeah, Tommy Lee
Jingus.
is great. Yeah, he's a good dude. I like him
Where
a
does
lot.
Jingus... Is Jingus just, like, the leftover drivel coming from the Steve Brule world? Is that, like,
yeah, basically.
scraping the bottom of the Steve Brule barrel?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it is.
That's where
I did
Jingle
add
came from?
Angus I add Angus to the ass end of every word.
The whole
First,
idea of
like-
a lingus, honestly. Adding a ling to things, lingus, just sounds...
Ding-a-ding-a-ling.
Because, like,
That's a little bit-
cunnilingus is a thing,
a little
right?
bit
And then...
racist.
What?
Is it adding a ling?
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying. I'm also drinking some bubbly, delicious soda. So.
Oh, me too. Remember when I burped?
Uh huh.
Yeah, I was drinking vanilla Coke. You can... This is
Ooh,
a Coke-sponsored burp.
Wow.
That looks pretty good. I don't know. It's
I have regular Coke.
It's probably my favorite
Good
of the
too.
varieties of Coke that I can drink.
yeah.
Although I
I'm
am
a cherry
drinking
Coke.
Pepsi.
Cherries
Oh.
are right.
Get it? Because
Oh.
I'm doing cocaine. Is
I
what I
don't
was getting.
I don't
at,
get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. This is the cocaine.
I don't get it.
Doing a lot of cocaine.
I don't get it.
Cocaine.
I don't get it.
Caw.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I don't get it.
What is this?
I can't decide which creature to sacrifice.
Take your time.
All right, I've got like a while yet, so I'm gonna think about it.
All right.
That's an instantaneous spell. That's similar to like a hunter's trap in Hearthstone. I'm trying to bring in new viewers who are into Hearthstone.
Get
not
Get
so
the
much
Yu-Gi-Oh crowd then.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's his trap card. He just played a trap card.
It's my trap you activated.
You unveiled my trap card.
I actually liked that show. I watched the first season. It's pretty
First season was alright. Yeah.
Why do their hair look like they're made out of freaking glass pyramids?
Made out of starfish, actually.
One of them was like the dude from Johnny Bravo was in the show for like I don't know, he's wearing a green sweater or some shit.
Johnny Bravo skipped leg day every day.
He
He's a
did.
leg day.
That's why he never gets the girl, dude.
I thought it was because he was like a misogynist dick.
That too, but
He
also
was that. Yeah, that's definitely also what he was.
I couldn't watch that show because I thought the humor was just too shitty. Like, it just
Dude,
wasn't good.
Johnny Bravo was great, actually.
I don't think I remember it then.
yeah, it wasn't one of my favorites.
Johnny Bravo's really good. Seth MacFarlane was the man. He was one of the writers on that show.
Really?
Yeah, before he did the old Family Guys.
Family Guy was good though for a long time.
It
I
was
still
the
watch
first
it.
5 seasons were really good, and then it was all downhill from there, basically.
I really don't see that as much as everyone else does. I hear it everywhere that everyone seems to agree on that. I just don't think it's still that bad.
It's just the most formulaic thing the world's ever known.
I haven't watched it since people say it's that bad, so I don't really have an opinion. I just know that I watched the first 5 seasons and I enjoyed them a lot.
It's formulaic in that, like, all the other spin-offs follow the same formula, but from show to show, though? Is that what you mean? From each episode, it's formulaic to itself?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's all just the same joke. Like, hey, I mentioned a thing, and here's a completely nonsensical, non
Non-sequitur thing. Yeah.
and there's a cutaway, and it's like, well,
So,
it's like a Hideo Kojima game, you know? It's just
I really
too
wanted
many
you to
cuts.
say it's like a Hadouken.
It's like a Hadouken. It's similar to that. Well, in fairness, my simile is equally as bad, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
This is self-serving to say, but, like, I hear you that it's formulaic, and I get what you're referring to, but I feel like I'm pretty well, like, I can wrap my head around a lot of tropes when it comes to storytelling, but it doesn't trip me up in that show for some reason. Maybe it's just that the non-sequiturs are funny enough to me, or, like, I'm never in a very serious critical state of mind when I watch it, but I just kind of, like, mindlessly laugh along to it, and then I just had a good time by the time it's over.
Yeah.
It never really triggers in my mind to go, like, hey, this is boring, or, like, hey, I've heard that joke 100 times. I just kind of go with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe they found a way to hypnotize me, and if that's the case, then go for it. I guess
Biggie.
Struck gold.
Can't you see?
sometimes your words just hypnotize me.
Yeah, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess it's
that's why I'm broke.
you're so.
You almost did it backwards, man.
I almost did it.
Who's
yeah.
the Biggie fan here, really?
Oh,
Can't
you
you
got an
see?
angel that slays Banes.
I've slayed Bane.
That's not good.
I'm Bane.
Is that your best Bane impression?
Yeah, it is actually. Fuck off.
Oh,
Please.
You made fun
You're
of my
actually
Bane.
joking,
You
though.
made fun of my Bane.
All right, second place
You had to
player.
die.
I appreciate you. All right. God damn, why the fuck did I even join? I was so happy not playing this piece of shit
Austin,
game.
I missed you guys. I
I'm
missed
gonna go
both
play
of you.
Dota. Fuck you guys.
It's just a game.
God.
Why you
First
have to be
game
mad?
and we're already playing for second
Why
place.
you have
That's
to be
where we're
mad?
at.
this only game.
There it is.
Yeah.
Do your best
Bow.
Bane version of that. That's like a guitar as Bane.
Yeah. Did you guys know that the winner takes all? Oh, you're just
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna give you an extra damage.
giving up the goose.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I forgot. God, that actually scared me. The whole screen flashes white. Wasn't ready for that. You lose. Would you like to spectate or leave?
You defeated.
You defeated.
Did you guys know that the winner takes all?
I
It's
feel
the-
like
It's the thrill of one more kill.
Oh, here we go.
The last one to fall will never sacrifice their will.
Thank meme, bro.
I think it could be a little danker, honestly.
Could be danker, but doesn't make it not
I think
dank.
it's a little crispy, actually.
It's not as
It's the
dank
Krispy Kreme of memes.
It's the
Crispy memes.
It's the crispy meme of teams.
No, it's not.
You guys want to join the meme team with me?
Dude, we can make our own meme team.
With it?
Let's make a meme team. What's the name of our meme team? Is it just the meme team?
Yeah, meme team.
Mine is
Alright.
called Long Johnson.
What?
Well-
No, that's your player name. We all need player
Oh.
names for the meme team. So,
Oh,
it can be
Long
Long Johnson.
Oh, Don Piano.
I want to meet Don Piano. He sounds like a sophisticated guy.
He's a great fella. Everybody likes him.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. What'd you do? Yeah, you gained 5 life.
Gain the life.
You're going to probably start
champions.
losing some health soon, so I figured I should probably start gaining that life.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you have on your 8-5 that is going to bother me? First strike would be the
First
one.
strike.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Alright.
yep. That's a
You
big
could have
one.
killed that one, actually. You know, it would've been-
We're not going to
Yeah.
think about things that have already been done or happened in the past, because what that does is it dredges up some sort of non-camaraderie adversaryship, and nobody's interested in that, really.
non-camaraderie
Don't
adversary.
think about the things that I just said, because I just finished saying that we don't consider the things that are in the past because they're now in the past, and what you're doing right now is stirring up non-camaraderie adversaryship.
In fairness, though, if you hit someone with that Baneslayer Angel, you would have gained 10 health. So you.
I
were
don't want to talk
clearly-
about it, Rob. That's in the past. I don't want to
You were-
bring up any non.
Here it comes, here it comes.
Yeah, that's right. I'm doing some non-camaraderie.
I have some bad news that I wanted to talk about on this today, and
Uh-oh.
What's that?
I think you guys are all going to be with me on this. At least I hope you are. So
Yeah,
I found
my
out
cat really
today.
Wants to know
Your
what-
cat wants to know.
Yeah, he's being real loud.
I
You
can't hear him.
that. Oh, sorry. I thought you.
Is
could.
he
Usually
purring?
Can. He's meowing.
Just squeeze him and it'll do it.
Don't do
No,
that.
no, he's right. Actually, they have like an air bladder inside. If you squeeze it just right, they'll make a little yelping meow sound.
Yeah.
Don't squeeze your
You're
cats.
awful.
Don't squeeze your cats. I'm not actually telling you to do that. Jesus Christ!
Was that the
Stop
bad
writing.
news?
Stop writing the comment.
No, just
Stop.
here's what you do if you want to fake out your dad. Just duct tape your cat. Cats are like whoopee cushions, all right? Just duct tape your cat down onto the chair. He's gonna sit on it. He's gonna have no idea.
Here's what you do if you fake out your dad. What?
It's exactly right.
There's like rain shooting out of my eyes right now. I was not expecting a dad comment with that. At all.
I wasn't ready for that, dude.
To fake out your dad. I'm waiting for you to block.
Oh God.
I don't even
Anyway,
know what to do now.
that was too much.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you the bad news.
Go ahead. Before we got off on that tangent.
Well, the problem is, if you squeeze the cat too hard,
I fucking hate you so much.
Big issue.
I actually do have some bad news, though.
What's that?
Jon Stewart is leaving the Daily Show,
Oh yeah, yep,
and
yep.
I'm real broken up about
I
that
really thought you were originally leading on to a joke about having bad news, but because we've stretched out that joke so long that your joke would know it would like extra joke, so you didn't actually ever
yeah,
have
that's
it
like
bad.
joke DLC that you just got.
But anyway, yeah, that's still sad. I'm sad.
Yeah.
I watched that show
Like,
for like
Comedy
10 years.
Central's in a bad fucking place, man.
Is it because Colbert left that he's just like, I don't want to do this shit anymore?
Apparently
I
he
don't
had
know.
talked about it before, like in like November or
I
some
got the
shit.
impression that he was just going to work that show for the rest of his life.
He might
Yeah.
want to make movies or do other stuff. I mean, he's kind of just he's been the career maker for a long time.
I know. And he's all that I want to watch on Comedy Central anymore. Because, like, whoever they put after The Daily Show, I haven't watched a single bit of that.
Right.
And I'm not interested in it. And what they said that the show's going to continue to run after Jon Stewart leaves. Like, all right, cool, I guess. But I don't.
Well, Rob just gave up his victory. That was weird. He was already gonna
Uh,
win, and then he just had to, disqualify
The
himself.
problem is, so, like, they had Craig Kilborn. And when he left, I said the same thing about him. Like, I wouldn't watch The Daily Show after Craig Kilborn left. And then I just kept watching it, and it was just better. Like, a
I was
lot
gonna
better.
say actually, like I would really, really like it if they brought on Craig Ferguson as the host of the Daily Show. I think that would be pretty cool.
I don't really have an opinion of him. People seem to like him a lot. I just don't think I've really watched enough of him.
He's pretty funny.
He's so good.
There's one scene that if you haven't seen, you should watch from Craig Ferguson.
Ferguson. Percocet.
Percocet.
Craig
Percocet. Percocet. Percocet.
I think
Percocet.
is that a medication?
Okay, what has Nintendo done that we can flame today?
Oh, they did the whole thing with the hey, look, we'll give YouTubers
Give a man a
commission,
biscuit,
money.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he'll
that's
eat
real
for a day.
shitty.
Give a man a YouTube commission, and he'll eat for 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, so Nintendo made it so that you can make Nintendo videos on YouTube now. Yay! Except they take 40% of your revenue.
Or 30% if
Ooh.
you make your entire channel about Nintendo.
Oh, yay!
10% more. But they
That's
also required
40% of
3
the cut
days.
taken from that you get, right?
It starts it's 50% or so to YouTube, then whatever you have negotiated with your MCN, so that could be up to 40 more percent, and then another whatever percent Nintendo
30
takes.
on top of that, yeah.
I feel like they've taken more than 100% at this point. Like
No, each
like that
percent
adds up to like 130%.
after each percent it resets to 100 again,
No, I
and then
know.
they
Yeah.
take it from that.
I
amount.
was make yoke, Nick.
I didn't know if you understood or if you were just. Oh, God damn it!
Dude, I know
But
math.
for real, though, like, that's like, you get nothing
like
from fucking... Wait, what are you making, like 10% per video on a Nintendo video or something?
The TB thing, when TB talked about this, he said it's like if you had $100 coming to you on a video, you might end up with like 20 by the end.
Yeah,
that's
great, yeah.
And
So I
also,
guess-
they can approve or reject videos that get approved for them to commission. So,
Right.
like, if you make a review that potentially they don't agree with, they could just say you don't get to do this.
Yeah. Which, important to note, if YouTube had the fucking balls to stand up for fucking gaming channels, it qualifies under fucking fair use. They can't do that. They can't actually do that. If anybody actually wanted to take the legal battle to any of these companies, if someone had the balls and the money to do it, they would win because it falls under fair use. It's transformative.
Also,
So-
like, the entire process of doing reviews is not a thing that we need to talk about anymore. Just that's how they work. You don't get to just say you have to pay us to make reviews of our games. That doesn't make any damn sense. It's called a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I don't, man. And have they done this to editorial publications, or is it just YouTube?
No, just YouTube.
Yeah,
Because YouTubers they need the encouragement to know that Nintendo's cool with them, but just only so cool. Like they don't want them to go overboard, and they don't want to accidentally have them like switching Link's face out with Donkey Kong or something wild like that. They might get the wrong idea, and the kids wouldn't know what to buy anymore, right?
I mean, like, I hate being on this side of the fucking stand, but Nintendo puts me there. Like, because I've always been like, all right, well, I mean, if a company wants to do something, then fine. They're probably somewhat within their rights to do it. And I mean, Nintendo sort of is, and I always hear this complaint like, well, they have a right to do it. It's like, the thing is, fair use says They don't. They actually don't. The problem is they're like, who's gonna fight them? A YouTuber who's making like 50K a year against a fucking
Wait,
multi-billion-dollar company?
Can we back up a couple here?
Yeah.
They do have a right to do it, but we also have a right to be pissed off, but they don't have a right to do it over reviews.
Yeah,
if you're
well,
going to
no,
talk Let's Plays, that's different from reviews.
No. See, Let's Plays falls under fair use as well, because that's transformative.
It's still a gray area. We're not 100% sure. Reviews definitely don't.
Reviews fall under fair use in that they're educational. But Let's Plays are transformative, right? I mean, just by the very nature of what a Let's Play is. I mean, even if you're not making commentary, it's transformative.
No,
because
I agree.
the way that you fundamentally interact with the product is completely different. You play a game, like I had an argument with someone on Reddit about this like a year ago, where someone made a thing where made an analogy, and they said like someone making a cover of a song and not paying the initial artist. The thing is, well, I mean, that also falls under fair use because it's transformative, but, you know, either way. The thing is, you interact with the media differently, right? You play a game and you watch a Let's Play. The interaction is completely different. I mean, a lot of people just watch Let's Plays of games that they play. And the another common levied criticism of Let's Plays is like, oh, well, you know, it's roughly akin to piracy because some people could...
Yeah.
You know, watch a Let's Play in lieu of playing a game.
That's why they got rid of the Smash Brothers story mode.
Right. Exactly. And while that is true, yeah, some people might watch a Let's Play in lieu of playing the game. But the thing is, are those people going to be the ones... Would they... If the Let's Play didn't exist, would they have bought the game in the first place? I don't think so. I don't think the people who would be comfortable just watching a Let's Play instead of playing the game and buying the game and playing it themselves, I don't think those people would have bought the game in the first place if the Let's Play didn't exist.
Right, that's that whole thing about lost sales, about whether they count as additive or subtractive, or if they just don't exist in the first place.
Right.
But I wasn't even really getting into that debate at all. I was just saying that we want to talk about this with the correct terminology, in that we know for a fact reviews, there's no basis for any kind of back and forth about whether or not they're legal. Reviews are just a thing, right? Mm. There's no debate there at all. Let's Plays are not ruled on in any way, even though we all have our opinions, and me and Rob, and likely Austin, seem to be in agreement. We also have kind of a stake in that, but it's not like there's like a court case they can point to and say, well, Let's Plays fall under X and Y. It's just all of us speculating in different directions. So I just wanted to be clear and say, like, Nintendo may have a right to do what they're doing when it comes to Let's Plays, but reviews, there's no question.
Yeah.
And they're all grouping them together as the same thing, which is a problem, too, because I don't trust Nintendo to be the arbiter of any kind of reality at all. They can't tell the difference between those two things, and especially when they don't have any oversight about what's going on. They can decide without anyone telling them they're wrong, and there's no recourse for people who get ruled in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and meanwhile, like, YouTube's just sitting on their hands, like, oh yeah, go fuck with our fucking content creators, whatever, we don't care.
Yeah, we still get 50% either way, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Or whatever it is.
YouTube is like the pinnacle of I don't care. Like, they just don't care.
They give zero
They have
shits.
no interaction with anyone.
What does YouTube do? That's my question. Like,
they buy server farms.
Do anything? Yeah, like they just uphold the servers, right? The only things that I've ever seen YouTube do are negative things. Like at least for the past like 3 or 4 years of YouTube. And you know what? This isn't just like us, content creator community that have like an obviously biased stake in this. This is I see this on Reddit too. Like when I see on Reddit people are talking about how YouTube is shitty and how it's gone to shit. Like this is a pretty common opinion. And it's just, I mean, YouTube they still are not competing in the streaming market. They just said like fuck off to that. They say fuck off to all gaming content as well. They've never supported gaming content. They don't have any kind of like a gaming like a real gaming section, a way to find gaming videos. Even though the most popular fucking YouTube, yeah, exactly, the most popular fucking guy on YouTube is a goddamn gaming channel.
No, on the Xbox app, they do actually have a section that's called the PewDiePie section, and when you open it, it is all his videos. I'm not joking. I took a picture of it and I tweeted it one time. It may not be that way anymore, but when I took the picture, it was that way, and I can prove it to you.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
There's just like, I mean, I know maybe it's not the best comparison, but I'm looking at Twitch and YouTube. When I see Twitch, I can put not necessarily specific faces, but I can
It's called
put
Kappa
people.
face.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
exactly. I can put the
That's
Kappa to the face.
It's gray face, no space is
No
actually what
space.
it is. Yeah.
But I can. There are people that I know work at Twitch, and they communicate. They say what they want to, what they're doing.
Yeah.
They had this whole year in review for 2014, which is actually really cool. And I
did
like,
that.
even though I have my issues with Twitch with certain things, I don't feel any ill will or lack of will in any way
Yeah.
from Twitch.
YouTube
When I
did a
see
year-end
YouTube,
recap. They did all the dankest memes and Vivo videos. They put them all together.
Twitch. Every change that I've seen Twitch do, like I, I can say with pretty good authority, like 95% of the changes that I've seen
VODs.
of Twitch. Well, yeah, that's obviously a one that is a one-off of like, okay, yeah, that's pretty. They didn't handle that very well.
but they can
But
have
beyond
that
it's
because
it's all adding value. They've just added value at every fucking juncture with the service. Like even now, opening it up, like just recently, they added a new thing where they have an entire music section. And what this one guy, have you heard of Kyle Landry? Kyle Landry, he was premiered basically on Twitch they had the Twitch music spotlight for him. He got 20,000 viewers just playing the piano, just jamming out on the piano. There's a whole music section now, and there's a creative channel now. So they've gone back on the people making art. People can make art on Twitch now. There's a creative thing that you can hit, you can click, and you can just watch people draw, and it's fucking cool. Like they're just adding more value to their service by doing things like that. I mean, there are certain things that are bad about Twitch, obviously, but there's things that are bad about anything. But YouTube, it just feels like they haven't added any
it's a machine.
value to YouTube.
It's like a machine. That's all I see when I say YouTube. I don't see anything else.
It's
How did we
sad,
get
man.
so far off of bullshitting on Nintendo? What happened here?
Fuck YouTube, man. That's
But
just
the
sucks.
thing is, well, that's the thing is, can Nintendo do any of this shit on Twitch? Well, I haven't heard anything about Nintendo shitting
you
on
can
Twitch.
stream whatever the fuck
because
you want,
Twitch-
Nintendo
Yeah,
related.
exactly. Because Twitch will stick up for people and say like, no, fuck you, Nintendo.
No, they won't
Or
stick up for people. They
have.
just aren't looking. The VODs,
It-
I think, still get you in trouble, don't they? They'll still get muted. They're in the same kind of content ID
not,
pool.
Not for Nintendo. Not for Nintendo. No, like
No?
They won't just do. No, it's just copyrighted music and stuff. It won't show up with Nintendo
Yeah,
stuff.
muting games was one of those things that happened like the first day that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a bad system that they fucked up. And yeah,
yeah.
they fucked that. That was like the biggest fuck up that they've had in a long time, I think. The last major fuck up I think was adding that 30-second delay before that, and that
They
still is a
still
problem.
need to fix that. Like that's
Yeah.
still a huge issue. I don't care. That should be where your resources are going to fix that
It really
because
should,
that
but,
affects every single. It doesn't affect like esports, which is probably why they haven't done anything about it, but it affects every other channel.
Yeah, yeah. That's I mean that's something. That's a major fuck up too. But that's like two that I can think of. I can't even think of any other fuck ups that they've done. It's the
Well,
VOD muting
Intermittent
thing.
issues of just shit breaking. Like right now, it keeps saying on all my YouTube videos that I'm live when I'm not, and then people go there and then they're upset that I'm not streaming.
Yeah, all right.
But
Yeah,
that could also be YouTube's fault. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be too. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is the reason that we went on this tangent is because Nintendo can stomp all over us because YouTube just like lies down like a fucking like a dog that's being kicked by his Nintendo master, and you're just not doing anything about
Your
it.
similes are on point today.
Yeah, we all know my references are out of control. So, but yeah, no, I don't know. It's just YouTube is just the whipping.
If you want to
boy.
mess with your dad, dude,
You
Really
gotta
didn't
duct
see
tape
that
your
coming.
cat to a chair. You gotta
That was
duct tape
really
your cat
nice.
down to a chair. It's like a whoopee cushion.
what the fuck was that?
I don't know what that was actually. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of other things that Nintendo's done recently that I want to
It's been
talk
it's
about.
been a little quiet. I think that's right. They had their last Nintendo Direct, which was just like fucking pointless.
What was it? I don't
They had
even-
nothing. There was just nothing.
Is it one of those things where they like hired someone to animate a thing of like Shigeru Miyamoto walking around in a cafeteria for a while, or
I
No,
thought you were
it's-
gonna say cat suit at that first syllable, and I was really hoping that that's what it was.
That could have happened for the Mario
Miyamoto
announcement.
in a cat suit, just walking around.
I'd like it. I would fucking watch
That would have been their marketing for Super Mario 3D World, though. Definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah,
yeah, the last
said
Nintendo
that.
Direct was just like they should not have even had it. They showed nothing.
Why do they do it?
They showed like 5 seconds of the new Xenoblade game, which is every time I see a new video, it looks cooler and cooler.
I saw it. It
but
looked cool to me.
yeah, it just like it keeps looking better. So I'm actually
I'm not
getting
on
excited.
that hype train. I know a lot of people.
Go watch the last Nintendo Direct video if you haven't seen that one.
It's like
because that
weird
one,
Monster Hunter in JRPG world, right?
Yeah,
and then you
seems
can transform into a giant robot, and that's pretty
There's
cool.
a robot?
but- Yeah, you walk
mechs.
around and do like MMORPG
I'm not
type
into that.
stuff. And then you can transform into a big Japanese mecha thing and fly around, and that's kind of cool, I guess. But
I thought you just wander around on like alien planets and look at shit. Like
I
I would
think
have
it's
been
just
into
the
that.
one planet. I don't think there's multiple planets.
Oh, it looked weird though. It looked different each time I saw a shot of it.
I think it's just they have a bunch of different environments, which is good.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
game
they
that
had-
was
they had that-
$100 on Wii, and now they're gonna re-release it, and maybe it won't be $100.
Uh,
Right?
But
yeah, I don't know. People
like
are really
remade.
excited about that. Man, I mean, that's just me. I'm the lone dissenting opinion on the new Xeno whatever game, and it doesn't look that interesting to me. But yeah, people are excited.
Wait, so you mean like a thing that Nintendo's putting out you're not into?
well,
on.
I'm actually into most of Nintendo's IPs, honestly. Like most of the games that they make have, like, they still have Nintendo quality for the most part.
I don't even know if Nintendo's making that. I don't know who's making that.
It's like a third party under first party publishing. I think Nintendo's publishing it, but they're not developing it first party.
I think it's a big name that's publishing it. Xenoblade Chronicles.
It's all the they did all of those games, I think.
I think
yeah.
it's just Nintendo.
Well, I think Nintendo's publishing it, but I don't think it's first party because it doesn't look Nintendo anyway.
They don't make a lot of like straight up JRPGs.
Oh,
these
it's
days.
Monolith Soft.
Yeah, Monolith. Okay, yeah.
It's kind of an
That's the one.
oxymoron, isn't it?
Monolith is real hard.
Generally,
to see a
monoliths are
soft
quite hard.
Monolith. I would look at a soft monolith.
You just want to look at like a big rectangle that's flopped over on the ground.
Yeah, like it's like a jelly monolith. Cool.
You get too close, it'll suck you in.
Oh, apparently this company made Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans.
I really wanted to say Attack of the Clones.
That would be awesome. And what did they? Oh my!
Dude, Goku shows up in Star Wars and beats ass. That would be amazing.
This game title is the great. This is like.
All right, read it up.
This is
Sunday
Oh, I
Watch.
think I see what you're talking about.
the pinnacle of Japanese game titles. Okay, Super Robot Taisen OG Saga : Endless Frontier, and then this is in all caps. Exceed. So
Yeah, but is it a giant X and then seed SEED?
No, there's an E on the Wikipedia. I don't know. Let's see.
'Cause
Oh,
X-
Rob, this game isn't out
Exceed.
yet.
Exceed
Oh,
is a company.
really?
Or it might be. It's just that the Wikipedia article might not have been updated.
I've heard
Yeah,
of
I
the
don't
Robot
think it is.
Taisen series. That's been around for a while.
No, Nick. This is Super Robot Taisen.
I know.
Super Robot
of course.
Taisen OG Saga Endless Frontier Exceed.
OG
Yeah.
Saga.
Like, do they have one English-speaking guy who could have just made a better title than that, though?
I'm reading this. It sounds hilarious. A sequel to the game titled Super Robot Taisen OG Saga Endless Frontier Exceed has been announced. The game is set between Super Robot Wars Original Generation Gaiden and second Super Robot Wars Original Generation.
Those are very different. Don't get them confused.
Along with them are two new mechs. One is the Archon, a mech based on the I can't read that word from Super Robot Wars Compact 3.
Pelodia.
Super Robot Wars Compact?
Compact 3.
What about the new trilogy, though? Are you referencing that at all?
It'll follow the adventures of Aladi Nashi and Neijhausen, an elven / and this is in quotes, fairy princess from Elfatale.
Elfatale.
Oh man, I bet it's fun though.
Aren't there ideas that we can approach that are like less fragmented than that? like aren't there stories that we can tell that don't need to go that far away from reality?
I don't know, man.
No offense, I'm just saying, like, come on. it's pretty wild.
All right, I'm looking at the art here for Super Robot Taisen OG Kush. Extreme.
Dank memes edition.
Yeah, and it's just all of the images. I can't even see any gameplay. It's just a bunch of booby ladies, like just ladies with hilariously, ridiculously sized breasts.
Is it the same
Wearing-
portrait of them with different backgrounds saying dialogue?
I think so.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god! I just reading this. They keep having to use the title, so the sentences are just impossible to read because the title's so long. Like a
They
drama
could-
CD where events and the extra scenarios of Super Robot Tyson Original Generation 2 in Super Robot Wars Original Generations are revealed. I don't remember what the first part of that sentence was.
In legal documents, they usually say, and from this point on, this name will be referred to as Title 1, and then Title 2, and then they'll just say that, so you can read comprehensible sentences.
Speaking of Title II, whatchamacallit, fucking what's his face, Tom Wheeler, said that the FCC is going to.
Was that your greatest segue of all time?
That was a fantastic.
That
segue,
was
yeah.
fantastic.
I'm a good segue master. I'm the master of segues. I think we all know that. My segues
I'm
are.
almost a little disappointed because that was so good.
Yeah, it's a good segue. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, but yeah, no, they're gonna try to make the internet Title II, which is pretty interesting. However, there's a couple of caveats, as there often are. It's still like it's a little bit bad for the internet companies and a lot of good for the consumer, but it's also like still pretty good for the internet companies as well. I don't remember exactly why. I'm trying to find the article, but
I was gonna say, isn't there like no way that's good for them? I don't really understand, but you'll find out.
So there's a couple of aspects to it that make it so that it's totally like a-okay for them. Hold on, let me see if I can find the article. I'm just gonna look at the top this month.
I also thought that this was still being contested, that it hasn't actually been decided one way or the other. They're just trying to make that happen.
Yeah. I think they're trying to. Oh, right. That's another thing. I'm looking at the r/technology, and this is one of the top ones in in the technology. It really shows how little the U.S. government has done to curb the fucking internet companies having obvious trusts and monopolies, essentially. Listen to this. Okay, what would you guys' guess be on Time Warner Cable's profit margin?
Oh, fuck. It's all of it.
How much? Well, like percentage-wise?
98%.
You were one off. It was 97%. 97% profit margin. That means they're paying 3% of what they make on infrastructure, and 97% is fucking profit.
Right, but we gotta worry about their network strength because we don't want to overload their networks because they're giving us too many good deals. They might hurt themselves.
People don't need more than like 1 megabit down or something, right? That was one of the I forget who it was. I think it was the Comcast CEO who that's literally what he said to Congress when they brought him in about that kind of stuff. Is he said, yeah, well, the average internet user doesn't use more than like 1 megabit down. So like why should you allow Google to completely destroy us in all these markets?
If you just look
Google
at
from
Facebook
competing.
and you just do email all day, you might only need 1 megabit down.
It's seriously like in the 1900s where like car companies were making cars and like the horse and buggy owners were like, well, people don't really need cars to get around. They don't need to move at 60 miles an hour. They can just move at the regular 10 that a horse and buggy goes. I mean, people don't need that. And technically they would be right in that statement, but also hilariously on the wrong side of history.
And think about the whiplash that could be involved if you start going any faster than 10 or so. Like, people's necks are going to start breaking. And do you want that on you when they all need to go to the hospital? I didn't think so, Obama.
Thanks,
okay,
Obama.
here we go. I found the article.
Thanks, Obama.
So let's see.
Dank memes, Obama.
Tank memes, Obama.
What if Obama was just the meme master, and every time he did a speech, it was just full of dank memes?
Or maybe in 30 years we'll find out it was full of dank memes and we just didn't figure them out yet.
Oh my god.
This is something else that he said that's actually really interesting, and this is something that is totally good for the consumer, really bad for the internet service providers. That mobile stuff is bundled in. Oh. It's bundled in now. So no throttling fast lanes may apply to mobile as well.
Oh.
So
So
they
data
bundled
counts
it.
as data now, not special data that goes for mobile phones that is somehow 400 times more valuable than normal data.
Yeah,
You've never,
exactly.
you don't know the difference between data and special data, Nick? Jeez.
I
Yeah.
Talk about
always thought that
amateur.
was so fucked. I never understood, like, why is it special data for your phone? It's the same network, it's basically just Wi Fi.
Yeah.
Well, some
Just
It's
longer
data
range Wi Fi that they
is
control.
born, with a few extra perks and other data, and we must
Well,
separate them as
I know
such.
it's not a big truck and I can't go dumping things on it, but for God's sake, this is just
yeah.
silly.
A dump truck joke?
Oh, that I think that's what it was. I'm trying to find the
Dank
guy
meme,
who
Austin.
I'm trying to find the guy who's talking about why it's okay for them. They while they're doing this stuff, which is obviously good for the consumer, bad for the ISPs. Um, they're not going to break up the merger. They're not gonna break up the trust, and they're not gonna break up the virtual monopolies. So while you're gonna have better service, or at least this is what he's proposing. So it doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean that it's gonna happen. This could completely be political points, and he's not actually going to do any of these things. But anyway, like they're not going to stop the monopoly. So they're still going to run without competition in all the markets that they're
Right.
already in. Which here's another thing that's crazy to me. This is crazy to me that people are okay with this. Or I mean, I guess people aren't okay with this, but it's amazing that politics just don't give a shit what people
I
want.
don't understand.
Yeah, well, they do understand. They're just getting paid. But here the thing that doesn't make sense to me is when they were talking about the Comcast Time Warner merger, right? And they brought the CEO in to basically talk to Congress about it. The guy literally fucking said, and I'm not exaggerating here, he said, well, the merger won't be a monopoly because Time Warner and Comcast have agreed not to compete in certain markets.
Yeah.
That's against the law. That's super duper against the law. You walk into Congress and you're like, oh yeah, well we're breaking the fucking law here by agreeing to not compete. Like, what world is this?
I need that to be a sound clip for like a soundboard. Because that was perfect. That's
Uh,
against the law.
it's
It
super
had
duper
a
against the
slightly
law.
siren-like quality at
It
some points in
did.
there.
There are fucking, like, we have so many laws for this very reason, so that this kind of shit can't happen, where like you can't have two companies agree to not compete because there's obviously a huge conflict of fucking interest, and there's obviously a huge detriment to consumers. That is the definition of not capitalism. The whole point of, like, everybody talks about like the free market and all this bullshit and how we have to save the free market. Well, that means that fucking companies need to compete.
No, those
Because
are
if
too
they
big to fail,
don't,
though.
well, yeah, I guess so. But if they don't compete, then here's what happens: Time Warner Cable can have a fucking 97% profit margin.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah, Rob, but it's not 96.
How do you
So
That's
do
the good
devil's
point, yeah.
advocate for that, what you just said? I'm trying to think really hard about how you would say that that's okay.
considering they are the devil, you'd actually be playing devil's advocate at that point.
Um.
They worked real hard to set
Okay,
up that
here's-
infrastructure,
oh,
so
yeah,
now they
here-
reap the
here's the-
benefits? Is that the
Yeah.
argument?
No, that actually is a totally legitimate argument. Actually, is they so one of the things that people are upset about is part of the reason that new companies can't compete with them is because they have set up all the lines, right? So if a new internet company wants to compete, they have to set up their own lines because they can't plug into Time
But
Warner's
they don't
or
let them.
Comcast's.
They don't let them
Right.
set up other lines.
That yeah, right. That's not allowed. Now here's the thing, though. There is precedent for that. Okay, so AT&T, right? A couple years ago, when AT&T was way too big, they separated it into 7 other companies, and they said they can use their lines to create to form their own infrastructure and make
Right.
their own company, so that there's competition. So there's precedent for that happening, right? But yeah, that's a good devil's advocate argument. Like, they paid for making all this infrastructure, and they should be able to reap the benefits of it. And okay, sure, yeah, maybe. But the thing is, if it becomes Title II, then it's that essentially what Title II means is internet becomes a utility, right?
The government
So
owns the
it's
lines,
essentially
then, right?
right. You're right. So it's saying that it's like with electricity, right? eventually that just became a utility, so that everyone should expect to have electricity.
Yeah.
Same with television. Many years ago, initially it was private, and then they had the public stuff, right? Because it became a utility. So that's essentially what they're trying to do now, or at least what he's proposing that they may do is make it Title II, so that it basically becomes a utility, which it should be.
They've
I
gotten to
think.
the point where they pretty much require you to have internet to like go to college or
Right.
file your taxes. Like, I mean, you can still do it without it, but like, come on. At this point,
Yeah.
you need it.
Yeah. You
So
do. It's
if you're trying to become a better person or live in the society functionally, you need internet. They need to facilitate that to be possible in a way that makes sense.
right. Yeah.
So I don't
Exactly.
understand the argument for the contrary at all,
Well, and that's
other than money.
this is the funniest part is that Comcast and Time Warner are going to Congress saying like shut down Google, don't let them bring in Google Fiber because we can't compete with them.
Right? Why does
Which
that
is-
make any sense that you can say
I
that?
don't know. I don't know. But like it's literally. I mean, that was like with there's precedent for that too. Because when Google Maps first aired as a free thing, actually Sergey Brin made a really cheeky comment about it too, where like MapQuest and all those other map sites that you had to pay for, they went to Congress and they were like, "Hey guys, we can't compete. They have a better service and they offer it for free." And like Sergey Brin's like, "Yeah, that's true. Suck it." I mean, that's not
Suck
exactly
it,
what he said.
nerds.
That's essentially what he said. He was
Then he
like,
slapped his balls with his hands and just rode off into the sunset on his motorcycle.
Oh,
and all those
he
companies-
should have checked the box that says wrecked.
"Yeah, pretty much."
He just has a clipboard with 2 check boxes.
Yeah, wrecked, not wrecked. I choose wrecked. Turn it around.
Google is trying to do that very
Suck
same
it.
thing again. Google, that's the other thing about the Google Fiber is I don't know if they're going to stay with this idea, but when it was initially announced as what they were trying to do is that they were going to offer, they're going to offer a preliminary service for free. Like you
megabyte down
just
for free.
have it. Yeah, 5 megabit down for free.
They're
Which,
still
by the
doing that.
way, I've been looking for internet service providers with Mall, and under Comcast, you know how much 5 megabit down is?
$30,
$40.
$30.
Yeah, it's I think it's like $30 or $40 a month.
Yeah.
That's
Google
what
would
my
give that to
internet
you.
was before I upgraded it. It was the 5
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
from
Yeah, I
Time Warner.
paid $90 for 50, and I don't get 50.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is I noticed that they say that now on their websites. Is they say up to 6 megabits
Absolutely, yeah.
per second instead of you get 6 megabits per second,
There's no
because-
guarantee of any service, really.
which is amazing that that's allowed too. That they're like, yeah, it could be up to 6. You could get like,
None.
0.5, but
0.
but it's up to
You
6.
could just actually just turn it off. I mean,
That's honestly like 99-cent stores in New York City. This is a thing that, like, when I went out to California, there's like a whole chain of this thing called the dollar store. And you know what? When you go into the fucking dollar store, everything costs a goddamn dollar. In New York City, however, all 99-cent stores say 99-cent store, and then in a little tiny little text just below it, it says "and up."
Right.
So, like, it's like the minimum that you're gonna pay for something is 99 cents, and then everything else is that or more. Which is like, well, why the fuck do you have a 99 fucking
Yeah.
cents? Your store is worse than other stores who have stuff for less than 99 cents.
What's great too is you can be in a situation where maybe you just move to a new apartment or you just move to a new house or whatever, and you call Time Warner up to be, to get your shit set up, to get your internet going and whatever. And then you end up in the situation where you paid for, maybe the minimum package or something, 5 down, and then you call them and it's like, well, it's not performing the way I wanted. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, you're in a brown zone or something. Like, they'll just say a word, they'll make up a term. I don't know if maybe they have their own terminology for this type of thing, but maybe you're just geographically in a poor position to receive full strength signal, and then they'll reset your box a couple of times because they're real good at doing that.
Yeah.
But then they'll get to a point where they're like, well, that's what it is. Take it or leave it. We can't help you anymore. And you're in a brown zone. Like, that's it. You're done.
Sucks to be you.
You better move.
Yeah. It seriously reminds me of the South Park thing, where it's like, oh, you can't have internet service? Oh, why don't you go to the other internet providers?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you can't because we're the only ones? Oh,
They're rubbing
that's
their
too
nipples while they
bad.
say
Yeah, they have little
Little
flaps,
flaps.
for their nipples so that
They're
they can rub
Velcro
their
so they
nipples
can
better.
pop open really easily.
Yeah. Oh, man. It is hilarious.
I think
how
in the
bad.
end, really, just fuck Nintendo. I mean,
Uh, and you know what's great about it is the politicians in America give zero shits. None at all. They only care about who's giving the campaign contributions. This is something that I read recently. This happened a couple of years ago. So there was a vote. There was a vote on something having to do with tobacco. That's what it was. It was with tobacco, right?
Right?
And the vote was about to happen. So what they did is they got one of the politicians to, just before the vote, in the fucking House of Representatives, on the floor when they were about to vote, fucking John Boehner walks around with checks from tobacco companies and hands them out to Congress. That is a thing that actually fucking happened. That happened for real.
That's like a farcical parody that you would see in a movie that's like super high exaggerated levels of like, how silly of a situation can we come up with to show corruption in satire form?
It's just like, how
That's
did
like
it get
Anchorman.
so bad?
That's basically
It really
Anchorman
is.
IRL levels of silly.
It's crazy. It's insane. I can't even. It's amazing how corrupt the government is now. It's ridiculous. And that's the thing too, is the apologists will say, well, it's not corruption, they're campaign contributions. That's legal. Well, so what if it's fucking legal? Slavery was legal.
Yeah.
wow, Rob, really?
It was. Doesn't make it right.
Yeah, I mean, morals are relative, and
Yeah.
I think we kind of forget that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. It's frustrating.
It's
It's
really
a frustrating
really,
world.
really uplifting bunch of stuff we just talked about.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, sometimes you got to talk about the tough stuff, the rough,
Mhm.
tough stuff.
The rough, tough, and tumble stuff.
It didn't rhyme.
I didn't have to rhyme.
I did though. It was the
I don't think that was the rule.
I made that rule.
Oh, by the way, on my video, we're now at 60 frames per second because this new fucking beastly
Nice.
Stormtrooper computer can do that. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
you'll really notice it with the fluid card animations.
Yeah.
within the-
You can see
It's
the
the
smoke
only-
moving across the bottom of the title screen really fluidly.
in
Yeah.
60 frames per second. How
That's
amazing is
smoke.
that?
Look at it.
I'm
Good thing
turned
you got
on
that
by it.
fast
That's
Time
great.
Warner cable internet so you can upload it all.
Yeah, that'll
You're
take-
doubling the amount of data that video is, you know.
It's actually hilarious though, isn't it? That we had shit connections in America for such a long time, where Europe would always make fun of us, right? Like any
Yeah.
European friends you would have would just be like, "Oh yeah, you have your 5 megabit down. Well, I'm getting
37
150."
teraflops.
Yeah, exactly. And then as soon as fucking, like, I remember that happening as soon as Google Fiber was announced, as they were like actually doing stuff with it. Like a month later, Time Warner's like, "Hey, we're giving you a free upgrade to a 150 gigabit down connection." Oh, really? Or I mean, 150, not for gigabit, but 150 megabit down connection. Like, oh, really? I thought you didn't have the infrastructure. You guys must have really worked your ass off to fucking get that shit in the ground as quickly as possible.
that
I'm
shit in
still
the
waiting,
ground.
actually. They said mine would be ready in October. It's February now.
Really?
I asked them the other
They meant
day,
October of next year.
too. No, they meant last year. I actually
No.
asked them recently. They're like, yeah, it's still not done. Most of the city should have it, though, so Rob, you might have it.
No, I do. I'm on
Do you
the
have-
150 megabit down connection.
It's 300 down, though. And 20
Is it?
up. 300 down, 20 up you should have now.
Mm.
If you're paying for the
okay.
top tier internet, which is what I have, you should be getting
Yep.
320.
I am doing that. Yeah.
So call them, because you're
I
getting
should.
fucked
Yeah.
over.
But I know, because they don't tell you about that either.
They said
Like, they won't-
they said they'd send you a letter in the mail when you get that upgrade, and I'm assuming you didn't get a letter in the mail.
I'm sure it's like a little tiny subscript at the bottom of a bill.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
Do you have to tip them?
I don't know, man.
They said you might have to bring back your router because they
It's-
only make
yeah.
routers that are able to deliver what is the moment. You know?
Yeah. That it's just hilarious how poorly those companies are run. Like they
I
said,
meant
I
modem,
think
by the way.
Time Warner was voted the worst company in America, right? Like, or the most evil company. That's what it was.
It
Uh,
was every list that has to do with that.
yeah,
What
It's
about
them and
EA?
Comcast
them
are
and Comcast. Well, no, EA's gone now. It's not EA anymore. It's now Comcast and Time Warner. And you know what's hilarious about that is that like now that they actually have to compete, like they, that's what's amazing about this, because this is the example of what capitalism is supposed to be. Because they're not even competing with Google yet. It is the threat of competition that they're blowing, like they're fucking tossing megabytes out the window at us. Just the threat of competition to try to give us some sort of semblance of brand loyalty, as if we will ever have that. Just like, hey, you guys remember, we're actually really good. Don't go to Google and they come around and give you a way better service for way lower price.
Remember when we gave you those megabytes? Just
They
10 of
have
them?
to understand that if you treat your customers like shit, you don't get loyalty as the other side of that coin.
Yeah, 10.
Well,
We
that's the
gave you
thing,
10 hope.
is
You
they
didn't want
didn't
more than 10? Right.
they never had to compete before. No company had the money to compete with them, and that's what they sat on. They sat on the ability, because the only people that can compete with Time Warner and Comcast are Comcast and Time Warner, and they've agreed, and Comcast, and they have agreed to not they've agreed to not compete, so they don't have to worry. Or they didn't have to worry, but now the threat of competition is making them upgrade their service.
I can do 15. Is 15 more?
It's so sad that we've like dehumanized people coming from a corporate perspective, that like all it is literally just numbers. Like there is no life or like world or interaction. It's just economy for them. That's all they see. And like where does the conscience thing ever enter these people's minds? Right?
I don't know. When you
never
get paid
does.
How
like
do you
millions of
disassociate
dollars.
to that degree? Is it you just create a world around you because you have so much
Probably the
money?
yacht. I think once you get on the yacht and like you like
Everything's is legal in certain parts of the ocean, I believe. So
I
maybe
mean,
that's
when
what
you
it's
can
about.
get away with
everything.
it, why would they care? They can get away with it just fine. So why would they care? I mean, honestly, that's just a psychological thing.
I
Like
have a
it's like
conscience that isn't going to go away no matter how much money I get. I'm positive of that.
you say that, but there's
No.
significant psychological studies that would say
Okay.
that's not entirely true.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I have more faith in myself than studies, to be honest.
Well, there's the Yale prison
I
experiment.
mean,
That's
I haven't been on the other side of it, so I can't say that I 100% disagree, but I really think that I know myself enough to say, but, you
Yeah.
might be right. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so.
Raven.
The thing about it is that's what the government's for. The government is supposed
Yeah.
to curb this kind of thing and make sure that there's a balanced economy. They're just not doing that anymore.
There's just only
So-
so much money that anyone needs. After everything you want and can even think of is done, it's just numbers going into a bank account that it doesn't even mean anything anymore.
I mean,
Right?
we've all played
you've beaten
Cookie
the
Clicker.
game. You've beaten
We've
the
all-
game.
We've all played Cookie Clicker, right? After a point, it's just the scoring system. It's just points. You're just racking up points. Like a person with $1 billion doesn't need another $1 billion, right? Like he can
Right.
buy whatever he wants. If he wants anything, he can buy it. Anything on Earth. But after a while, I'm sure it's just like
Right.
a high score. It's competing
But
with other billionaires.
I know the difference between reality and video games, though, and it's not points when that $1 billion can, like, make thousands of people able to live better lives and eat, right?
Yeah.
That's such an easy call to make. Even if you
Yeah.
want to just be a capitalist, you could be venture capitalism, spending money towards creating new businesses that might come back to help you in the end, right? You could be encouraging innovation instead of just hoarding money.
Right, doesn't Bill Gates give a vast majority of
Yes.
his earnings
Yeah, it
away?
does. Yeah. A lot of companies do that. I mean, you could look at like Amazon. Amazon just buys properties that like maybe they pay off
Right.
in the future. Actually, a lot of the new entrepreneurs of the modern age, that's what they do. Like you look at Facebook, they just bought Oculus Rift, right? I mean, that does not link up with Facebook at all, right? But it's something that could make money in the future, so they're buying it and supporting it. I mean, it's the same with Amazon. Amazon buys like 1 billion different companies. Amazon is a weird example, though, because Amazon is super duper in the red always, and that's their business strategy, is to always be in the red. Like, they're just not making money ever, because they can sell it that way. Like, they can sell it to investors being like, hey, all this shit is going to make money eventually. We're just going to tank like we're just gonna eat costs everywhere.
I don't really
I'll eat your
understand that
costs.
strategy.
It's weird, but I mean, it's currently working out for them.
I
So
hope so, because they own Twitch.
yeah, yeah, me too.
You know, my employer, aka,
Yeah,
well, my other employer.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they just do that. I mean, that's like their. This is actually something interesting too. If you guys ever buy things from Amazon, just type
You gonna
in
tell us
if
about
you're
the-
going to.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
Okay.
smile. Yeah, yeah. Go, type in smile.amazon.com instead, and what it does is it doesn't cost you any more money. Anything that you buy, 1% of it will go to a charity of your choice. They have suggested charities, but you can put in any charity that you want, and 1% of your purchase will go to that charity. And Amazon just eats the cost. They just
Right.
eat that. And in fact, if you use it one time, next time you make a purchase, they'll remind you like, "Hey, do you want to use Smile? Do you want
Yeah.
1% of whatever you buy go to a charity?" So they encourage you to basically take money away from them, which is amazing.
It's pretty bold.
It's funny. A lot of companies, I think, are a lot of these new businesses are maybe learning or maybe showing for the first time that, goodwill is actually pretty good for business.
Yeah,
It
not only
turns
is it good
out,
for business, but the world we live on needs more of it.
yeah, yeah. And that's another thing too, is that there's a bunch of studies that have been coming out that are like, to I think a reasoning adult could make this like could hear it and be like, well, yeah, no shit. But apparently, if you treat your employees well, they are entirely more efficient. And
Yeah.
that's something that like Google and Amazon and all those new startup companies, that's what they do. They have the fucking lounges and the spas. They'll actually work more for you if you provide them in a leisurely environment or a
And they'll
company
be
that they
loyal.
like to work in. Yeah, and they'll be loyal. They'll stick around.
So, where's the downside to that? And also, we don't even need to go that far to go, do you just want to live in a world where people are happy? Or would you
Yeah.
rather just rule over them as a tyrant?
Most people would probably choose the latter, honestly.
I can't understand that line of thinking. I just want everybody to be happy.
Yeah. Well,
I know how good it feels to be happy and how shitty it feels to be depressed, and I don't want the depression part anymore for me or anyone else.
Yeah.
And if you have the kind of power that comes with billions of dollars, you can make a lot of good in a lot of people's lives. And you're just disconnected from reality if you don't realize that.
Well, a lot of people do. A lot of people do that. Like Bill Gates
Yeah.
is a good example.
I just wish everybody got it. I don't understand how anyone doesn't get it. Too much entitlement, too much greed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not enough of that dank cash.
That's what the economic model that we use breeds.
I feel like we should just run our businesses off of dank memes now and use that as
I
our
agree.
currency.
I mean, that's basically Reddit's economic model.
Dank memes.
Just run on dank memes.
Like, I got an email from the Prevent Cancer Foundation today because I donated for AGDQ, and, like, I just remember, I was like, this is the greatest thing that this happened. We raised, like, what, $1.5 million because people can play video games quickly. Like, that is an industry that honestly doesn't have the money or power, but levied it to create it.
Mm-hmm.
All of those individual people don't have billions of dollars, but they created a situation where money came.
Yep.
And they used it for good. And, like, I would really love to see cancer cured and AIDS cured and Alzheimer's cured and any one of those things. And people
Yeah.
have the ability to speed up technology drastically. But instead, they just choose to keep it in a bank account where it does nothing good.
It's because it's like the typewriter, right?
Yeah, I know this. I
Where-
know where you're going with this, yeah.
All the companies that made books when the typewriter came out by handwriting the books tried to do the same thing that internet providers are doing now with they're competing with Google
Yeah.
and car companies did when people when they were making public transit infrastructure in all major cities. The thing is, when you have all the money and the power, and there's obviously a better product that has been created due to technology, they just try to hold it down and hold it back, and that holds back our species. Honestly, is that
Right.
that mentality?
and technology progresses exponentially, and it feels like the separation of money has also progressed nearly exponentially at this point. So if those two things could just line up, who knows where the fuck we'd be at this point.
Yeah.
So, like, how many people have to die for people to just stop being so greedy? Like, are these people that monolithic and self-important that they don't get that people are actually dying in real life right now?
Yeah. Well, it's like that, there's like a war adage thing where, it's easier to push a button and shoot a rocket than it is to, stab a guy, essentially. And that's kind of the thing, right? It's like, it's like a dehumanization to a large degree.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Yeah, it's depersonifying people and just making them numbers instead. So, yeah,
Got pretty fucking deep here, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm tired of being numbers all the time. Everybody doesn't need to be numbers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We can be dang memes. I mean,
we could be dang memes. Well, we are at an hour and 7 minutes.
Oh god, I thought we were way farther than that. Jeez.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Pretty good first Magic episode back, I think.
Yeah.
Half an hour of Magic. I guess a half an hour of shitting on Nintendo and YouTube and
the world.
The United States economy.
We upgraded.
Yeah. Although,
our internet.
I want to continue that thing that we were doing where we read out people's comments. So if you guys have, honestly, if you have dissenting opinions or like valid counterpoints to any things that we've said, of the things that we've been frustrated with, things that I may not fully comprehend, because I mean, I'm not I don't. My knowledge of economics comes a lot from Dennis and a lot from personal reading, but maybe there's valid reasons for a lot of the things that we're frustrated about, and we'd like to hear them. And we will read out your comments on the next Magic video, so be sure to tell us your thoughts and all that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think that's a valid thing to say. I would definitely love to hear from you guys, as long as we keep things reasonable. I don't want to see anybody calling each other awful names in the comments, is what I mean.
Yes.
If you have a disagreement, so be it, but be respectful. That's all.
Yeah.
All of you should post that the person above you is an absolute piece of garbage, and just go with that.
Don't listen to him.
That way, the first person who comments isn't the only one who isn't a piece of garbage.
You're being like the Joker right now. Why you gotta paint your face like the Joker, bro?
Some people just like to watch the world burn.
Couldn't use Bane for that, huh?
Yeah. Can I hear your Bane impression?
Michael Bane?
Michael Bane.
They should have just got Michael Caine to play Bane. That would have been fucking...
No, it's Michael Bay, Michael Bane.
Michael... Oh, I see.
Michael Bane.
What if they just did like a Dragon Ball Z fusion of Michael Caine and Michael Bay, and
oh my god.
Bane?
It would just explode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because it's Michael Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bane.
And next time, can we give proper due diligence to talking about what if DBZ and Star Wars merged? Because I really want to talk about that.
That'd be cool. Well, Goku would just destroy.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. You just said it.
I mean, the Death Star is great and all, and it can destroy a planet, but I mean, Goku can too. So, whatever.
Goku can.
Imagine Darth Vader though with Frieza powers.
New Dragon Ball Z movie coming out, by the way.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Sure about that?
Mm-hmm.
Movie?
Yeah, new movie.
You mean game?
Game.
Well, yeah, there is a game, but there's also a new Dragon Ball Z movie coming out as well.
Oh.
Didn't the last one suck?
The last movie?
Yeah, everyone was all hyped about it, and it sucked.
It's like the Tree of Agony or something, right?
I watched it. It wasn't great. They had this weird thing where there's a new form of Super Saiyan called a Super Saiyan God, where Goku gets red hair and stuff and fights
Red?
Yeah, and he fights a cat. He fights this god.
Okay,
cat
wait a minute. So it goes from brunette to blonde to redhead.
Yeah.
Well, no, Super Saiyan 4 is red, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but that's not canon, Austin. I mean, come on now.
Fucking go. Thanks for watching.
GT is not canon, all right? Very important.
G all over your teeth.
Thing
you know
that
what
we've
I'm saying?
said all episode. GT is not canon, okay? Which is weird, by the way, because I don't know if the movies are canon. Actually, I'm not gonna start this rant because I could go on for a long time.
Yeah, we don't want to get in that universe.
Yeah, but okay, that's actually what I wanted to say. The new movie that they're coming out with, Frieza's back, baby.
But
No, he's not.
He got cut in half.
He's not back.
He's back
No,
again.
no way he's back. That
Frieza's
makes no
back.
sense.
Tell a friend.
Well, no, he got cut in half and then he
Frieza's back,
exploded,
Frieza's
right?
back.
He exploded
Cut in
the
half,
second.
then exploded.
Then
Yeah.
exploded.
Well, in fairness, I mean, not to spoil anything here, but this is a spoiler. He did come back after that part.
Did he?
And-
Did he explode
well,
again?
He came back as
Well-
an arm floating in space with like a half a torso, I remember.
Yeah, right. And then he became Mecha Frieza, and then he got chopped up a bunch again, and then exploded. So
Okay, well, I think he's officially exploded.
He's dead. This
Yeah.
movie you're telling us didn't happen.
I think what the story is that he somehow breaks out of hell to fight Goku.
There's the hell.
Yeah. There's hell.
Yeah, if you
But
fall off
it-
Snake
I can't
Well,
handle this right now.
Snake
Let's
Way.
get DBZ in the next episode. This is
yeah,
too...
Right? If you
But
fall
it's
off
called-
Snake Way,
yeah.
You go to hell.
It's the home of extreme losers or something.
the
is
Homestar
what
Runner.
Is that
Yeah.
sounds like an ABC game show?
It's an acronym. Yeah, it's good.
There's silly demons down there that like helped Goku jump back up to Snake Way.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then
you were trying to make a hell acronym, but you only got one L.
no, well that's what I don't remember exactly what the acronym is in the show, but it's something.
You weren't just I thought you were just trying to like.
No, it's like for real. Like there's a hell, and that's where all the bad guys go.
I wasn't joking either.
Yeah. None of us were joking.
None of us were joking.
We don't joke here on the Magic Podcast.
But if you really want to mislead your dad,
Mondays and Fridays, new episodes of Magic.
see y'all soon, everybody.
See ya.